Hello, 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 and welcome to Updog Sports Talk. My name is Matt Miller. Joining me today is Intern Tones and Justin McGovern. What's going on, fellas?
Top of the morning.
We
Yeah.
are recording on a different day than we normally record, so we have our coffees instead of waters. So this will be pretty entertaining. Today, Justin, what are we talking about?
We are talking about the most hatingest division in the NFL, the AFC North.
Yeah, just straight up rock fight of a division. No domes, all elements. It's fantastic football. Before we get into that, just want to tell everybody about who we are. So we're Updog Sports Talk. We like to stick up for the little guy. Justin being a Bills fan, Tony and I being Bengals fans. We've gone through our fair share of fandom turmoil. So we like to stick up for the less represented teams. So sit back, relax, and watch us evenly give out sports takes on each team. So AFC North, it's here, boys. Moving on to the staple of the division, the model of consistency, and we said that about the Steelers, but in their entire existence, you could flip a coin and be like, okay, well, the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. Even if they don't, there's a better chance of them making the playoffs than not. And especially with this team, they are one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. They're in the Super Bowl conversation every single year. And it just seems like they're getting better with age. I mean, they bring in DeAndre Hopkins to a position that needed more depth. They brought in Joseph Noteboom from the Rams to be depth on the offensive line. They brought in Jair Alexander, Chibade Wuzie. Like, they're making moves to get better. They realize that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to be around for a while. DK Metcalf is now in the division. Jerry Jeudy isn't a bust. So they realize that in order to win, they're going to have to shut down some receivers and get some receivers of their own. So Justin, how'd they do in the draft?
Man, they crushed the draft again. They didn't have like a super high amount of early picks, but Malachi Starks at safety, kind of a position that we're starting to see devalued a little bit, but it's a key spot for the Ravens. And this is like the second time in just a few drafts that they took advantage of safeties falling and got a steal in the first round with him. And then in the second round, they got yet another steal. Mike Green out of Marshall was someone that I thought the Bengals should have taken in the first round. He falls all the way to the Ravens in the second round. Just an absolute steal of a pick. I think he even stole a headline the other night with like his ridiculous ability to bend and get around the offensive lineman. He's going to be a dangerous pass rusher for years to come for this team. Another one, I should say, because of course they already have so many. And really, other than that, like there aren't really a ton of headlines here because they mostly draft the reserves after that. Their next pick wasn't until the 4th round. But you look at some of these guys like LeJonte Wester out of Colorado was a nice little steal there in the 6th round, and he performed well the other night in the preseason game.
Yeah, taking an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
What I mean, when you're fighting for Super Bowl, like for Super Bowls, and you keep winning your division every year, you're not really going to have a whole lot of holes. I think the Ravens have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they only got better with Jair Alexander and Malachi Starks. Tony, I took some of the headlines from you, but what are the strengths and weaknesses of
I think
the Ravens?
they're one of the teams that the weaknesses are minuscule compared to some others. When we're talking about the overall knock that the weakness has for them, they bolstered. They added some depth in DeAndre Hopkins. I think that was needed. Zay Flowers, he did the thing last year, but they kind of need that veteran wide receiver, the one that can go get the jump balls, could be a dump off guy. We know he's kind of reaching the end of his career, so they're extremely solid. I think the only weakness that I can see, they really only have 3 quarterbacks on their roster: Lamar Jackson, Cooper Rush, and Devin Leary. So if Lamar Jackson goes down, the engine, the crown jewel of Baltimore's little crow flock, what will their offense look like? Would that totally derail their season? Maybe.
I think that like Lamar Jackson probably should have won the MVP last year because he played even better than his MVP season, which Dak should have won that year. But Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry didn't lose anything coming to the Ravens. Like he got even better. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, elite, very scary duo. You can't stop both of them. They were still 8th in passing. They were first by far in rushing. Had more than the Eagles. They had 100 more yards than the Eagles, and they had 500 more yards in the 3rd place team of the Commanders. The Ravens are an elite team. No team has won this division 3 years in a row since the AFC North became a division. We may see that for the first time this year. I mean, the Ravens, not only do they have one of the best coaches in the NFL in John Harbaugh, not Jim. They have an elite defense. They have an elite offense. There's nothing to complain about. I mean, the past few years, their thing has been they're not the best in the pass game. They brought in DeAndre Hopkins. No matter how old, he comes with a lot of knowledge. So at the very least, he'll make Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers learn more. Zay Flowers, very, very good receiver. I think he can take another step up this year and kind of start putting his name in the top of the wide receiver. Not better than Jamar Chase or anything, but like maybe top 12 receivers in the NFL. I think he can start putting his name there. They have a really good offensive line. Mark Andrews got hurt a couple years ago, really wasn't the same last year. Isaiah Likely is hurt this year. So losing a couple of weapons there, but overall, I mean, Ravens are fighting for another Super Bowl this year. Not really much else.
I think what is actually their biggest weakness is one-score games. Yeah. They have been pretty bad at one-score games. So really, like, if for the most part, a lot of NFL teams are not in the same weight class as the Ravens right now. But if you can battle with them and stay in the game, there's a lot of times where they will end up beating themselves.
Yeah. And I think they're doing a good job to shut the Bengals down. With bringing in Jair Alexander, but I mean, it's hard to contain the best receiver in the NFL. And even if you can contain the best receiver in the NFL, then T. Higgins is no slouch in his own. Humphrey, not the same as what he used to be, so we'll see if he can shut down T. Higgins. But when the Bengals offense faces a Ravens defense, it's a rock fight. It's the definition of the AFC. Follow us at Updog Sports Talk on everywhere on the internet. YouTube, YouTube Music. You can find us on Spotify, which I gotta work on getting the rest of the episodes on there. Podbean, iHeartRadio. We're on Reddit, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Follow us everywhere. We love interacting with people, so feel free to comment on our stuff. All of our news and updates go through X. Just best place to follow us on X. If content coming out on Instagram. But yeah, that was the AFC North. We are going to go live in the fall. Justin is wrapping up college football previews. So if you are a college football fan, definitely follow along with his videos as well. And we will catch you guys live this fall. See you guys.